members from CEERA, which is one of the pioneers in organizing this competition, and my own dear colleague, Dr. Kshitij Naikade, our Community Legal Care Center's committee of students who have enormously supported this initiative, and all other invitees and participants. A warm welcome to each and every one of you on behalf of the organizers. I deem it a privilege to be the co-organizer's lead here for many reasons. One reason is that due to the courtesy of the Department of Justice, even we have a pro bono club in 3 of our law schools, 3 law schools which are under the deanship of mine. One is where I am director as well, which is this law school, Pune Law School, the oldest member of the Symbiosis law family, established in 1977. The second one in Noida also has got a pro bono club. The third one in Hyderabad doesn't have, but the one in Nagpur, which is the 4th youngest member, it has got the pro bono club. Aside from that, this competition and this initiative fits into my own personal trajectory in many ways. One is that late Dr. V.S. Mallar was my colleague. We were one of the handful who joined Dr. Menon to build the National Law School. So I would say that I had to leave due to personal reasons. In between, I migrated from the country. But it was Professor Mallar who brought the stable revenue model to the law school, aside from being an eminent professor of constitutional law. So I think that it is a great honor for me, because Dr. Mallar was not only a colleague for me, he was the only among the National Law School professors who was hosted in my in-laws' place in Ireland. Aside from that, sir had visited me in Bengaluru in my village home also. So it was a very dear relationship that we shared. Second thing is that in Dr. Menon's repertoire, whatever new ideas came for the Indian legal education to elevate its standards to the next level, when we all were working together, I would say that whatever I do in Symbiosis is very hugely influenced by the best practices which are there in National Law School, Bengaluru, which I think is a great privilege, because this model of us collaborating, thanks to the expansive and liberal personality of Professor Sairam Bhatt, who never leaves any stone unturned for merit, for objectivity, for impartiality and quality. So this is another privilege that I think has brought us here. Symbiosis is known for its openness to private-public partnership right from the times it established a management institute with the Ministry of Defense back in 2000. So ours is the first ever MBA which we developed along with the Indian Armed Forces. Aside from that, we have a school running for the police personnel. Dr. Muzumdar, our institution's founder and our chancellor, is a very magnanimous personality in the sense that he's the son of a lawyer. His brother was a judge who inspired him to open this law school as the second law school in Pune, which is today a history. Today, this law school is consistently figuring among the top 5 law schools in the country. Despite the completely self-financing financial model, it's not easy to meet the public service requirements of a law school. The third reason why I'm happy here to be here is that, in my opinion, this is a crowning glory for the good work that we do at Symbiosis Law School, Pune, which again started with our village clinic inaugurated by late Dr. Madhav Menon in Pirangut village in 2008. Not that we didn't do community legal service till then, but it gave a different accent, expansion, and different platform in terms of the responsibility of law schools in creating top-level manpower. If you speak today, top-level human resource with global competence to meet the legal needs and to meet the human resource need in the legal sector across the world. That's what India is producing today. It's not the privilege of IITs or IIMs alone. Our law schools are of that merit at this stage. I'm very humbled to share that, and I'm very happy to share that today some of the top law schools like Bangalore Law School and us are doing that great service to the nation and to the futuristic generation of this country. But I tell you, with all that eminence, we are not to forget the Daridra Narayana, as Gandhi said. We have the public service commitment as lawyers, and as legal education institutions, our corporate efficiency has to marry the public interest ethics. So this competition, in a way, as it was rightly told by the compeer, Jai Batruka, in the beginning, in a way, it ignites that passion and ignites or reminds the role of every future lawyer in terms of the public interest. If I go back to the establishment of Rotary Club in the Second World War context, which did yeoman service to the unmet needs of the people torn in war, it would tell us that the founder was none other than a lawyer. And if you look at the establishment of the United Nations and the work that it did in peace and development, it was lawyers who led. Where are those lawyers today is the question that we ask very often when currently the world is reeling under the impact of conflict and greed and a kind of poverty and clamor for sustainable development goals. So I think this competition is going to be, as the youngsters would want to respond better in the language of competition in a playful way. We have put a very serious mission in that. I wouldn't say we, but the CEERA Center under the leadership of Dr. Sairam Bhatt. Now, why this is important for us? If you look at the content of the competition meets many facets of legal skills. What Dr. Menon passionately called clinical legal education. In terms of applied side of legal knowledge, which is coming with the kind of approach that is taken by the Gen Z, as we say, this 21st century children. And what is that approach? Where they are IT savvy, where they are tech savvy, where they are into creating media content than only consuming the media content which is prepared by others. To gear such potential of this generation and this Gen Z to this end and marrying it with the ethical need of creating lawyers who are responding to the unmet legal needs of this great country, I think this competition has made a lot of contribution, although we had the privilege of collaborating only in this version, the third version. I must share with this house that last year we had the privilege of being one of the winners in some sections as participants. And I saw the passion in my students and the way in which it gave us new ideas. Mind you, all of you are here, participants. This competition is going to give new ideas. Don't leave it at competition. It's going to give new ideas for the agenda of your pro bono club. It is going to give you new possibilities because now for this competition, you have to look around. You have to get out of the comfort zone of your law school. You may be studying in a national law school where you may be predominantly Hindi speaking or English speaking. You have to know the reality of the state where your law school is situated. For example, when I came to Pune, I was a Kannadiga coming here. But even now, I beg pardon that I don't speak a native kind of Marathi. But I can understand 100%. I watch Marathi movies. I go to Marathi places of interest. And I have very close Marathi family friends, more like a family member. And we have a lot of staff here. So your effective learning in terms of opening your heart, taking human interest is part of our profession because ours is the profession which has the sense to sense the injustice. And it is a profession which gives voice to the one who cannot speak, one who doesn't know to speak the right language to the powers that may be. So this is where I think this value of this competition lies. I'm not selling this competition, but I found a lot of usefulness of this competition because we had to pull in students who were not part of this club to participate in this competition to make their entry valid. So this may entail in your individual law school participants, at least 100 to 200 students to come into the fore of this competition. All may not be putting their entry in all categories. I urge you to put your entry in all categories so that your juniors, the first years who are brimming with energy during COVID-19, it was all bottled up. Your second years who have already trained themselves, your third and fourth years who have the capacity to be doing the legal clinics, what we call the lab. So all of you have an opportunity here. And you also, I would say, use this as an avenue. If teachers are here, please use this as an avenue of evaluation. Let the entry go to competition. Let the participation become your assessment avenue. Let those students be certified in the college. I recognize the students who participated in this competition and got some kind of reward, third, second, consolation, whatever. So that's one, the academic and the clinical value of this competition. Today, Dr. Menon's fag end of his life, his last workshop was on profession-ready lawyers or practice-ready lawyers, as he used. So today, we can make the students profession-ready if we have a very systematic skills training, which we do not have. That curriculum we do not have. Some of us bring the skills into the classroom, or we expect our internship to serve that. So this competition is an avenue which can be very nicely connected to the skills which are required in different curricula also, not necessarily the development lawyering. I have a course called development lawyering practice, not necessarily restricted to that, not necessarily restricted to a legal aid or pro bono club. So my urge or my appeal to all the teachers and students here is that don't see it as just the competition and not just the memory of that great soul who made initial contribution and laid a strong foundation for the viability of a new model of legal education. Aside from that, please see it as an opportunity for curriculum development, for developing your lab. Here there is one exercise as the lab. Develop a clinical lab for clinical legal education and skills development. Last but not the least, I'm very happy to say here that when two strengths come together or multiple strengths come together, magic happens. So we had record number of participants registered this time. I should put on record the systematic approach led by Dr. Kshitij, led by Dr. Shirish, and then the whole visualization, processes and structures lent down by National Law School. So CEERA Center under the leadership of Professor Sairam Bhatt and all the team deserve the credit for this hard work. I am only here as a cosmetic representative of that great possibility that we saw. And I should thank Ministry of Justice for inspiring, guiding, and facilitating such a historical epoch-making kind of approach. So as an executive and also as a supporter of constitution in this country, custodian, you have played a great role in seeing that next generation is readying itself for the justice work, because unmet legal needs in this country, they span around the 80% of the population who are defined under the Legal Services Authority Act. So I'm sure that this competition is going to give them the kind of inspiration, merit, readiness, and also a kind of opening of the valve of their mind to this possibility. Here there is not much money, but there is purpose. Not much material wealth, but there is satisfaction. Not much recognition because you are representing those who are voiceless, but then definitely it can act as a kind of launch pad for a bigger career in law or better skills in law. So with all that, I wish the competition all the best. And I once again posit my gratitude to each and every one of you. And I also wish that each and every participant and participating law schools excels and reaches next level of quality legal education as National Law School has done in the public sector, or we are making a humble attempt in the private sector. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for encouraging the teams and inspiring them with your wise words of wisdom. Thank you once again. And now I request the Director, Access to Justice and Legal Aid to the Poor, Shri P. Chandra Mohiyar, sir, to kindly enlighten us with his inaugural address. And I request all the participants to please join hands and give a round of applause to welcome sir for the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Esteemed panelists and all the participants, I extend a warm greetings from Department of Justice. I think it's a very important auspicious occasion that we are starting this program. Today is Teachers' Day. So I wish all the teachers happy Teachers' Day. I think it's important to understand that learning is a continuous process. So whoever is able to learn from other people, so I think we need to be gratuitous about it. Department of Justice is very keen to learn from this particular opportunity. So all the young minds that have come together here, so department is willing to learn from all these ideas that emerge from this journey. First of all, I would like to congratulate NLSIU and Symbiosis school for organizing this event and igniting the passion among such a large number of participants. So I think more than 50 teams have come together to this particular edition of the competition. I think it is improved from the earlier competition. So I think it's important that this momentum continues to be maintained. We are like extremely happy to collaborate, more so for the shared vision that we have. Most of the agenda points that we have seen, I think this is also a mandate that we have assumed to ourselves for the Department of Justice. But one of the things that I would like to highlight is the most fundamental aspect in the legal aid is the awareness, right? So the awareness about the programs that the Department of Justice already undertaking is very low among the citizens. We do a lot of effort in creating that awareness, but still that is not reaching. Like, for instance, we have gone to television, we have gone to FM radios, we have gone to various channels of communication through social media and all that. But still, many citizens are not aware of the programs that we are running. And more than this, what is more concerning for us is many times we see the interns that they come to a Department of Justice, they are also not aware of the programs. I think more than the channels that we have explored earlier, like through media, social media, or all those channels, I think the word of mouth are the people who are less at the edge of the service provision. If students are aware of these programs, I think that is the best way that the message of these programs reach to the population, the entire like beneficiaries to the large extent. So for benefit of all the participants here, I would like to just brief what are the kind of activities that we are programs that we are running in the Department of Justice. We do a program called Telila. So through that, it's a technology program. We have more than a panel of like 700 advocates available, and citizens can schedule a call through a mobile app or by helpline 14454. So they will be able to connect to the advocate, get their problem discussed, and get a legal counseling. So this is a very earliest aspect of the dispute resolution. So despite being like able to come up with a solution, I think a large number of people are not aware of it. So we request all the students kindly take this forward, that large number of beneficiaries can take advantage of this program. Besides Telila program, we also run a program of Nyaya Bandhu, one of the program that Dr. Shishkala already highlighted, like Pro Bono Club Scheme. Many of the participants here are already part of it. It's a low budget program, but still I think it's a high delivery kind of a program. So all the law colleges adopt the villages and go to the citizens, creating awareness. I think it's a very noble idea, and it has been very, very effective in taking this program. In Nyaya Bandhu, we also have an advocacy program of encouraging the young advocates to onboard themselves for a voluntary service. So we have a technology platform in the form of like a mobile app for Nyaya Bandhu. So again, I request all the students kindly encourage you yourself can participate in it, and encourage other people also to participate in it, so that people who cannot afford these services, we cannot expect the government should be in a position to give free legal aid to all the entire population. It is absolutely impossible. But with more voluntary participation of the advocates, I think this access to justice mandate can be delivered better. Legal literacy and legal awareness program we are running. NLSIU is one of the partner to our program, and they are doing an excellent job. Likewise, we identify local problems and we create awareness among them. So these are some of the activities we do. I thought this is an opportunity that I need to use to spread this information to all the participants. Couple of challenges that I just wanted to highlight for all the participants, so that like out of this competition, they will focus on some of these problems that we are like facing as as we practice delivering the legal aid mandate. So as I already highlighted, most fundamental problem in this legal aid is creating the awareness about the rights and the possible course of action that citizens can do when their rights are infringed. So how do we create legal awareness? There are like many ways that it can be done, many ways that every institution is trying to address this problem. But what we think is the solution that we try to come up with, it should be need-based. It should be serving people when they need it. If we just do a programs as a kind of a seminars, webinars, probably when people don't need it, they would not be able to attend to it and they will not be receptive to it. So how do we come up with a solution so that like when they need it, that service is available to them? So this is one of the things. Another aspect of the legal awareness is it should be easily available. When they need it, it should be easily accessible and available. And any information or any service for creating legal awareness should be authentic, like it should be reliable. It should not like otherwise like Google is already there. People can always search and get some information, but which information is authentic, reliable, so that like they can they don't get misguided with the freely available information. So I think if these three qualities are addressed in any kind of solution that is generated, I think it would serve in a big way. So few things out of our experience, what we are trying to do is we are coming up with a solution called Nyaya Setu. So it's a AI-based chatbot, and it does not rely on the sources which is not authenticated. So it will restrict the boundaries of the knowledge, and it will be able to answer any of the queries in their own languages. So this is one of the solutions we are coming up. Another this is just one way of doing it, but technology can be very, very disruptive in providing this service. So I urge the how do the participants can come up with more of such kind of solutions. One big lacuna in the legal awareness domain is like I've seen from the mandate of this competition is many aspects of the content of the legal awareness, right? It intends to come up with a podcast, FAQs, the street plays, the reel making. All of these are like content for the legal awareness. But how do we create all the kind of content that is generated? How do we organize them in such a manner that people will be able to connect them, use them, retrieve them when they need it, right? So I'm trying to hint at a platform kind of a thing where it is easily available for people to search and discover what exactly they require, they need. I want to refer to one particular solution that is already available. A government initiative, DISHA, is a platform where the school curriculum is all available. There are like various contents. The videos are available, the text available, commentaries are available. So all those information is all congregated into one particular platform and it is available. I think it is one of the need of the hour. So it is just a hint to the participants that these kind of solutions are better solutions are actually required to address this a massive challenge. The legal literacy or awareness is not a problem of just illiterates or semi-illiterates. This is a problem for the entire population. Even most educated people try fumble when they actually come up with a legal problem. This brings me to a second challenge that I would like to throw to the participants here. The legal assistance. This is also one of the mandate of the competition. So in the legal assistance, what we are trying to look at is the legal assistance has to happen again at the source of the demand, right? So where does the demand actually emerges? There we need to address. Otherwise, what I feel is most of the clinics, the legal aid clinics that are available in the law schools, probably the citizens are not able to access them. Why would a citizen come to a law school expecting that there will be some services there? people think that it is an educational institute. But where does the demand for the legal assistance come? I think the most demand, the important source where the demand emanates is the police stations. The source of demand is the prisons. So can we come up with a solution or a model where this assistance can be provided at these sources? Again, I'm saying if government has to come up with a solution, probably it requires enormous resources to be deployed. Mainly the human resources to deploy at that scale is almost impossible. But there can be a possibility that we come up with a model where such kind of things can be done. So I want to again throw this challenge to the participants that please come up with ideas so that like it can help government to come up with more reasonable, optimal solutions that it can solve the problems of the people. So with that, I would like to again thank the organizers and the Department of Justice again, like keenly looking for solutions, and we are very happy to collaborate. I wish everyone all the best for the competition. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think you have set the tone and tenure of this competition by guiding the teams of how best the objectives can be achieved of the purpose of legal aid. I think it's a very important observation that you have made, and I think it adds impetus about how some of these events that are designed in this competition can achieve its final purpose. I think that's something that we have also taken note of, and we'll definitely work on that, sir. And that's a promise from our side, because 60 teams are all coming together, and each team has 10 members. So we have 10 legal aid soldiers. This magnifies to at least 50 because 10 are the core team members, and actually every law school will at least have 50 students led with 1 or 2 faculty members. So that has to achieve the final aim and purpose of actual legal aid and not just paper legal aid. So thank you very much, sir, for giving us that feedback, insight, and also the lead to fulfill the mandate of this competition. Ladies and gentlemen, this competition is under the Department of Justice banner. To be honest, had the Department of Justice not given us a project which is called the Pan-India Legal Literacy and Legal Awareness Project, probably we would not have designed probably India's first legal aid competition. We have moot court, we have debate, we have several other competitions, but this is one of the unique competitions for legal aid. So we are very grateful to the Department of Justice for being our patrons and also supporting this kind of an event. It adds a lot of credibility because the government is with you, and I think that is what the mission of legal aid is all about. Friends, first of all, let me thank all the 60 teams. We are very overwhelmed by your subscription, by your participation. 60 is a great number. We really are really so happy that there are 60 institutions that are taking the purpose of legal aid quite seriously. So thank you and welcome to all the teams. Thank you to the faculty members for taking a lead in not only registering for this competition, but I think you will be leading the students in the different events that we have designed in this competition. Second, I'm indeed grateful to Symbiosis Law School. This is all because of Professor Shashikala Gurpur's personal initiative and leadership that she has pushed this competition to the limit and level that we have designed this year. She has been very kind and generous in giving us insights and inputs from time to time. And I think that is what we are looking for. And I think this collaboration is something that we would want to work in several other programs, events, and projects as we go forward. So, ma'am, a personal thank you, but also thank you from NLSIU and DOJ for hosting this event and also leading us all throughout. Ladies and gentlemen, we have identified 3 very eminent personalities to be the patrons and jury members of this competition. They are going to monitor, supervise, but They should not be contacted though. They are here to see the 60 teams perform well and also to decide who will be the winners of this legal aid competition. Of course, selecting them was a challenge because we did not want them to be part of any institution that is already registered for this competition. But we also were very keen to select people who have a commitment and passion to what I would want to call as a legal social responsibility. So let me take this opportunity to welcome Professor Bismi Gopalkrishnan. She is a very well-known name, a great friend to both me and Professor Shashikala. Professor Bismi has been very kind enough to accept our invitation. She's here. She'll also be speaking and interacting with you in the next session. So thank you, Professor Bismi. I have Professor Dr. Ramkrishna. I hope he can join us. Professor Ramkrishna is a former professor of law at the National Law School of India University. I think everyone knows him as probably one of the best teachers of intellectual property law. He has also kindly agreed to be our jury and patron, and I hope he can join us and he can also share some of his insights with you. The third person is a special person because I think the last few days that Professor V.S. Mallar spent his laughter moments, as I can call it, because he was a person with full of life. He was a person with full of energy and with a lot of anecdotes and a lot of stories to tell. I think the person who knows Professor Mallar in and out was Professor T.V. Subbarao. Professor T.V. Subbarao is now with the Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies in New Delhi. He has keenly witnessed this competition in the last 3 years. He has personally sponsored this competition as his commitment to a friend and a philosopher that Professor Mallar was. I think Professor Subbarao will also join us. So let me thank all the three patrons and jury members of this competition. We indeed acknowledge your contribution, your time, and your guidance in helping these teams achieve the final result, as we would want to call it. Friends, now just coming to this competition. I think, like the director did mention, I think we were looking last time for kind of a legal aid clinic at the prisons. So every time we have come up with some unique activity that the students can engage in, that the faculty can engage in. Friends, the idea is very simple. I have personally believed in that limited journey of my life that, look, if you have to succeed in legal practice, let's address the students first. How do you succeed in legal practice? The legal practice can be succeeded if you can actually merge theory of law that you learn in your classroom with the practice of law. And can legal aid actually help you gain the practice of law? Friends, I have personally believed that it does add a lot of value to your practice. It cannot necessarily be just litigation practice, but just the legal practice. Can legal aid help you bridge that gap? I think it can do it enormous skill development. It can give you enormous exposure, and it can actually help you train as a lawyer. And that is the whole purpose of this legal aid competition. Of course, we are targeting those vulnerable sections of the community, the marginalized sections of the community. We are trying to look and outreach to legal literacy. All that is mandated under the legal aid competition. But I think, is it going to serve you? Is it going to be useful for you? I believe, friends, it is going to be useful for you. So I request all of you to just take the journey of this legal aid a little bit more seriously. Like Professor Shashikala said, it is not just for the competition, but just for your own life, just for your own experience. And let me tell you, it will make you wiser as a lawyer. And I think down the lane, 10 years or 15 years, you will remember all these kinds of activities that you do in your law school, right? So it will give you great memories. It will give you good memories. The point is, friends, we all have learned the law, right? We have the knowledge of law. Friends, of course, you will be using this knowledge of law for yourself, right? In your legal practice. You will probably make money. You will probably charge clients. Great, friends, we should do that. But can I use the knowledge of law to help someone else? Can I use my knowledge of law to assist someone else? Can I make use of the knowledge of law, the practice of law, that I'm a lawyer, to bring about a change in the society? I think this is the emphasis, this is the spirit. And to be honest, the man that we have dedicated this competition to, Professor V.S. Mallar, believed in this. He never believed that what knowledge he had a copyright to it. To be honest, no. He would love to share his knowledge. He would always be very helpful to any junior who goes up to him and says, "Sir, do you know this? Can I help you?" He would share his knowledge. So it's not that knowledge should only be useful for you. Can we use this platform and knowledge as lawyers to bring about a real social change? Should you contribute to the betterment of a society, democracy, and country? Can we all be part of this journey in some small sense and small time and small manner? Friends, I think this is the real objective of this competition. Of course, the competition has several components. We believe that finally in India, we all are literate. But the point is, are we legally literate? How much of law do we actually know? Like the director did rightly say, it's not the law that constitution. For example, traffic violations of any other thing. For example, there are so many people today who are still silent victims of domestic violence. Can we assist? Can we help? Can we, really talk to them? And, we have come up with a kind of a publication that we title as Legal Aid for Legal Rights, right? Legal rights do exist, but there are a lot of people who require legal aid to access their legal right. The legal right on paper has to be made facilitated by lawyers like me and you, like law students like me and you. So this is a mission. This is a journey. I think this is an ambition. Please join us. Please make this competition some kind of a success by your involvement. I'll just quickly run through the resources that are there that the teams can use. Friends, please note, there are a lot of resources we have already generated. So my request is you can use these resources if you wish during your competition, or create or generate your own resources. See, these are resources that are in the public domain. So this is the book that Vikas is just sharing. You can make use of these in your competition. We will share all the links in the chat box so that when you try and reach out through the events or the components of this event, you can actually try and use these resources. Unfortunately, we have just published this in English. We understand legal aid is actually in the vernacular language to the local community at the villages. And to that extent, some kind of translation from your side would always help, right? So we have done the basic foundational part, but we would request you to take this forward and make this far more meaningful in your journey. So our team will definitely give you all the links to the resources which you can actually make use of. So with this, few words on the journey of this competition, I would now hand it over to Jay. Jay, it's over to you. And thank you, one and all. And we look forward to a very great collaboration for a couple of months. See, this competition is for the next 3 months. And we will meet often. And finally, we will conclude this competition on November 26th. I hope you understand we are starting this competition on Teachers' Day, and we are ending this competition on Law Day. That is November 26th. So that's a great 2 significant days for this competition to come into place. So thank you, one and all, and welcome to this competition. And we are very happy that you have been collaborating with all of us. And we hope that we all will contribute to the mandate of access to justice, which is a constitutional mandate that we all have. Jay, it's over to you.
Thank you, sir, for your encouragement, for telling what this competition is about and why legal aid is important, other than all the activities that are there in law schools. Thank you once again. With this, I move on to the address by the patrons of the competition, and I request Professor Dr. T. Ramakrishna, sir, to kindly address us with a few words of insights. So, are you able to hear us?
Welcome, sir. Sir,
Thank you so much, dear Professor Shashikala ji, the Director of the Department of Justice, Dr. Chandra Mohiyar ji, Professor Sairam Bhatt, Subbarao ji, and Bismi Gopal Krishna, and my dear participants. It's indeed a great honor and privilege for me to be part of this particular program, especially because it is hosted in the name of my esteemed former colleague, Professor V.S. Mallar, Varadaraja Shivaraya Mallar. About the legal aid, about the legal assistance, about the program, already Professor Sairam Bhatt and the director have spoken. I am so happy to know from the director that there are various schemes under the ministry supporting this legal aid and legal assistance programs. I was really impressed by the call that he gave, that no doubt there are 6 core deliverables in the competition, starting from legal podcast, FAQs, speed monitoring, the legal assistance lab, and final one. But he was emphasizing on the need for dissemination of this information, and therefore there's a need for a platform. And he likened that particular platform to something like DISHA, Education One. And the legal assistance part that he was emphasizing, it took me back to my early days in law school, when as a teacher of criminal law, as a teacher of law of evidence, I used to take the entire student community to the police stations, to the prisons, just to give an exposure as to how the vulnerable and marginalized sections of the society are still, suffering for lack of knowledge about their rights, access to the justice. So this took me back to those days. I congratulate Professor Sairam Bhatt and the team for having initiated this particular program. Congratulations, Professor Sairam Bhatt, for this unique program. Today happens to be Teachers' Day, and what a great tribute to the renowned teacher, Professor V.S. Mallar. You have the inaugural function on the same day. Just 1 or 2 words about Professor Mallar, with whom I spent more than 2 decades. He was the one who received me at law school when I joined law school. He was the registrar of the National Law School at that particular point of time. Professor Mallar, who started his career as a practitioner in the Madras High Court under the very vibrant lawyer, Mr. G. Vasantapai. Then, of course, he moved to Mumbai, then took up teaching, and then has been an epitome of simplicity, commitment, and dedication. One thing that I liked in him was the institutional affinity that he had. He put the interest of the institution above the individual interest. Rather put everything behind, and the institution interest was paramount for him. And whenever new students were admitted to the institution, he used to ask them a question. Do you think this is an extraordinary institution? Obviously, students would respond positively. And his response was, no, this is an ordinary institution with extraordinary ambitions. And we want you to make it reality and take it forward. His colleagues in the classroom who were into cooperative teaching in the early days, Professor Devidas, Professor Vijay Kumar, and now, of course, Professor Subbarao, After all the debates that used to happen, they recall Professor Mallar has his own style of encountering the co-teachers. Ultimately, he used to say, the Supreme Court, you will find, ultimately said this. And he was so much appreciative of the judgments of the Supreme Court that he used to take it as the ultimatum. And the entire world in the teaching community moved towards the use of technology. And of course, we know the PowerPoint presentations dominating the classrooms even now. Amidst all this, he remained aloof from this technology, away from the PowerPoint presentation, through his powerful points. That is the way he was an astute teacher, coming with half-sleeved shirts, dominating through his personality in the classroom. Never favored at any point of time the sartorial smartness, but was known for his simplicity. But in spite of that, he presented himself as a towering personality, as a great teacher. And he was the one who led what we call walk, chalk, and talk culture of effective teaching. I recall, right, his great memory. Any student of any batch, any faculty of any year, if you just go to him, he used to recall not only the year in which he had interaction with them, but also the contents of the discussion that we had with Professor Mallar. Why am I referring to Professor Mallar's and Professor Mallar's contribution on this particular occasion? She's a person who lived his life for spreading knowledge through the students and through the activities, in whose name this particular legal aid competition is happening. I think this message should be taken forward by the participating teams so that the vulnerable and marginal sections of the society here would be able to access justice. I'm not going to speak on the deliverables of this particular competition at this particular stage. However, I would congratulate all the teams for having taken initiative in participation. I was so impressed when Professor Sairambhat said that each team has 10, but 10 is nominal. There would be another 50 joining this particular team, or it would be more than 50 joining this particular team. And even if you just take an average, it will be more than 3,000 who are going to be participants in this particular program. Such a huge thing, if it's translated into the practical effects, I'm sure this is going to assure, right, very good results. With these few words, let me thank the organizers for this great opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was indeed a tribute as to why we are having this competition, and no one better than you could have done that. We really thank you for your wise words of wisdom and the insights. With this, I now request Professor Dr. T.V. Subbarao to kindly grace us with your insights on the competition, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Mahanta, am I audible and visible?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
At the outset, let me thank Professor CEERA-NLSIU for giving me this particular opportunity. I have spent only 10 years of my life with Professor Mallar. We used to take not only cooperative teaching, even lunch we used to take together. Every day, We used to attend the class, take lunch at my home, and then we used to discuss about several things. He has particular quality of remembering the Supreme Court cases by citation. Of course, his favored book was N.A. Subramaniam's Constitutional Law Cases book. And then afterwards, Professor Vijay Kumar also joined us. For cooperative teaching, we used to go. Vividly, I remember. We have taken up the Indian system of governance. Professor Vijay Kumar was telling that India has adopted classical presidential system. We called it as a republic. And then we have mentioned about there shall be president for India. And then to aid and advise the Council of Ministers are there. And Shamsher Singh's case he has quoted. Whereas Professor Mallar was of the opinion that because we were familiar with the system, parliamentary system in England, we have adopted it. And then the Constituent Assembly debates have specifically shown that. So it is a British model. Whereas in the middle, I used to say it is not totally based upon British model for the reason that we do not follow all those conventions here. So this argument went on for 2 days, just for one topic. So it was a wonderful thing for us to spend time with Professor Mallar. Professor Mallar is not only as a colleague, he used to share with me even his personal things. He is a thorough gentleman under the sky. He is a wonderful person he was. It was unfortunate that we lost him, but we remember almost every day when I go to the constitutional law class, I remember him. That is the greatness of Professor Mallar, my dear friends. He was very close to me. Coming to the topic, legal aid. I always tell, if you want to ensure a particular thing, justice you wanted to ensure, what is required? First, is it available? Justice, is it available? Is the first question. Friends, you can think for yourselves. The persons who are residing in Andaman Nicobar Islands or some other island belonging to India or in Kanyakumari, can they avail their availability right under Article 32 that is available in the Supreme Court? The next one is accessibility. Physical accessibility, economic accessibility, informative accessibility. Are we ensuring it? In our judicial system is the question. And then acceptability. That is $1 million question. We have simply brought into our system the British model, but having 100 and odd crores of people, is it acceptable? And quality assurance, that is the fourth ingredient. Are we ensuring all these things is $1 million question, my dear friends. We have stated in the preamble, succinctly in sonorous terms, we assure our goal values of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Justice is primary thing. However, justice in India has become factually unapproachable and intellectually left inarticulate and vague. millions of Indians neither made the law, nor know the law, nor reach the law. This is a fact, my dear friends. Law as a delivery agent of justice is in the hands of limited group of people, leaving the taming millions with poverty unlimited. Justice system is terribly cumbersome, expensively dilatory. Legal illiteracy is more, and over-lawyering makes justice a flop. Access to justice is stunted and chained, and to remove that problem, remove the mystic words of lawyers and judges only can look after these things. We have initiated, not now, my dear friends, 1851 itself, legal aid was meant to neutralize the problems of approaching the justice. I don't want to give a speech, a long speech over these things, my dear friends. I wanted to remember Mallar, and I wanted to participate any program that is conducted in the name of Mallar, but only highlights I was telling. It was in the year 1851, and then in 1950, headed by Father Bhagavati Justice, the committee suggested 2 tests for determining eligibility for legal aid. Prima facie case should be there, and means test should be there, and then subsequently you can see in Calcutta High Court, Sir Arthur Trevor Harris, a retired Chief Justice, has evolved a scheme for legal aid. And then there was a committee headed by P.N. Bhagavati, Legal Aid Committee. It was appointed by the Gujarat government initially, and then subsequently it has spread to the center as well. And Justice V.R. Krishnaiyer was appointed as the chairman of the Committee for Legal Aid in 1972. These are the developments, my dear friends. The major report on legal aid came in the year 1973. So when Justice V.R. Krishnaiyer and Bhagavati are there, we know that how the judgments were delivered under Article 21. Legal aid has become part and parcel of Article 21, especially after Maneka Gandhi's case. My friends, I tell you, legal aid is not a charity, even though the expression says it is aid. It is a constitutional mandate. As we have noted, it is a goal value. And it is one of the directive principles of state policy. When you refer to Article 38A, Article 38, when you refer, you will find how the legal aid is incorporated in directive principles. 39A is there, another one. And then, as I have told you, it is made into a fundamental right under Article 21 by judicial pronouncements. One should read this along with 14 and 22 already, my dear friends. And then we see during certain periods in our history also, we are affected with the lack of legal aid, especially during COVID period. My dear friends, I did not want to tell about the cases. One case, if you remember, M.H. Ascot versus State of Maharashtra, AR 1978, page number 1548. We copy Professor Mallar when we cite the case. My dear friends, I think that I should stop. 5 or 10 minutes that are given to me. I hope that I am able to rather impress with my small talk. Professor Mallar was very close to my heart, very close friend of mine. He was staying with me for several days, not only taking lunch. And when I was going outside, then only you used to come to deliver lectures elsewhere. And we were together almost for 10 years. I was not there for over 2 decades or 3 decades like others, but those 10 years we were very, very close. And in his name, if any program is contemplated or conducted, I will be very happy to associate myself. And once again, I thank the charities of this program for giving me this opportunity, and Professor Sairam Bhatt. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your journey with Professor Mallar and navigating us with the journey of legal aid as it has developed and where it stands today. With this, I move and I request Professor Dr. Bismi Gopalakrishnan, our patron as well of this competition, to please enlighten us with your words of wisdom, ma'am. Please.
Most respected Director of the Department of Justice, most respected Professor Sairam Bhatt sir, esteemed Professor Dr. Shashikala Gurpur ma'am, Professor Dr. Ramakrishna sir, Professor Dr. Subrao sir. I'm so happy to be a part of this venture, and I'm thankful to Professor Sairam Bhatt for giving me an opportunity to be part of this venture, and remembering Professor Mallar and the tribute that you're paying to the great teacher as a whole. Basically, when I was just listening to Professor Gurpur ma'am, Professor Sairam Bhatt, Professor Ramakrishna sir, and Professor Subrao sir, I was just thinking that the foremost concern of majority of the legal education is to create good lawyers with sound knowledge in law and having an understanding of advocacy skills. But creating a sense of justice is what we need in this contemporary times. And that's what Professor Sairam Bhatt has been continuously doing for the past decades. He's been spearheading this particular movement through CEERA, like touching upon almost every nook and corner of the justice, whether it is environmental, whether it is legal awareness, whether it is the basic creating lawyering skills. Sir is always spearheading that particular movement. And actually, through this competition, what the center is facilitating is an experience of living law, because it is fine-tuning the students to get sensitized with justice and social justice. So learning law, because learning law in the real sense of life, in the real context of life is what is needed. And because the students get accustomed to the administration of justice, not only administration of justice, but they get a feel of value-based education, the clinical legal education, and they get so close with the society, and definitely the competition will create a responsibility among the students, and it will help the students to understand the socio-legal problems of our contemporary times. So to get sensitized with all these issues that our society is facing, and to give a sort of remedy, at least from, it may be a little bit of from our side, but to give a helping hand to the society, whether it is underrepresented, whether it is not fully represented. So that gives a whole lot of change to society. And definitely, I'm sure each one of you is going to understand throughout this particular competition. In the end, definitely you are going to understand the true democratic values, and you're really going to be a part of our participatory democracy and understand the true values of justice that is incorporated in our constitution. All the very best to each one of you and the faculty as you're accompanying the teams. All the very best. And thank you, Professor Sairam Betsa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, to encourage the participants with your energetic short talk and to encourage all the teams once again. With this, we come to the formal end of the inaugural ceremony. I would like to take 2 minutes to thank all our dignitaries and guests, beginning with Professor Dr. Shashikala Gurpur, who has been the source of inspiration and one of the biggest support in coming to the third edition and why we could reach such a large number of pool of teams once again. So thank you, ma'am, for your presence. And we look forward to your insights and your support throughout the competition. The director from the Ministry of Law and Justice, Shri Chandra Mohyar, thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Professor Dr. Sairam Bhatt, sir, you have always been there and a source of inspiration. Our patrons of the event, Professor Dr. T. Ramakrishna, Professor Dr. T. Subbarao, and ma'am, Professor Dr. Bismi Gopalakrishnan. With this, I would also like to thank the dedicated team from Symbiosis Pune who have been working with us constantly for the past 1 month to bring everything in place, whether it is the clarifications, the rule book, the brochure, and ideating the entire competition. Our esteemed colleague, Dr. Kshitij Naikade, and the student from SLS Pune, Ms. Ramni, and also Dr. Shirish from Symbiosis Law School, Pune. Thank you, sir, and Ramni, for all your support. The dedicated team at CEERA, Vikas, Gayatri ma'am, Rohit, it has been an absolute pleasure to work alongside, and we take it further and see how we can make the best of it. With this, I request everyone to give a round of applause to our esteemed panelists and the guests, and we would move to a short round of discussion of the rules that I would take up.
If you give the permission, I think the panelists, if they wish, they can log out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Indeed grateful for your time
Once
and
again,
for joining with us.
everybody, my regards to Ramakrishna, Professor Ramakrishna, as well as Shashikala Gurpurji.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Professor Subraji. Thank you, everyone. Jai, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I may kindly be permitted to leave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir. Please. It's now over to Dr. Kshitij, Jai, Vikas, and the Symbi and CEERA team. The floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Okay, teams, welcome once again. I hope that all of you have gone through the rule book and the clarifications that have been released. I will quickly take you through the rule book in a snippet. Please let me know once my screen is visible. Can you please confirm if my screen is visible?
It's
Just give a moment, Jay, because at this point it's just showing you started screen sharing, but we can't see anything on the screen.
I'll just check that. While this is taking place, so as all of us know that there are 6 core deliverables in the competition. Quickly, I will run all of you through the timeline that is there. I hope I'll try sharing.
You can probably ask Vikas to share.
Try again, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So there are 6 major components in this competition. We do understand that what was written in the brochure and what has been given in the rule book has a slight differentiation. We will clarify all of this out here. All the real submissions, initially we had told that there'll be a monthly submission. However, we have overcome that. Now, all your reels need to be submitted on one date, that is October 12th, 2024. We will be circulating a Google form. On the Google form, you will be uploading all the reels that you have, you will be preparing in this timeline. With regards to the Jansunwai and street play, you have to conduct one Jansunwai and one street play. There have been questions as to if Jansunwai and street play can be held at the same location. Yes, it can be. If you think it will be fruitful, if you think it will be beneficial for the people, or else we would suggest you conduct the Jansunwai and the street play at two different locations. The submission of the Jansunwai and the street play, you need not record the entire Jansunwai and the street play video. You can record snippets of it and collate it as a beautiful edited video and then send it to us. That is written in the guidelines as well. The legal podcast and FAQs. Please note, you can have your legal podcast as a series of 3 podcasts, or it can be on 3 different topics. The FAQs, they must be on the same topic as your legal podcast. The format of the FAQ, you can follow our Legal Aid to Legal Rights Handbook that is embedded in the rule book itself. For this, again, there will be a Google form that will be shared with you. With regards to the 4th submission, which is the speed mentoring, again, a speed mentoring session would be about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. You can carry it out in 4 to 5 schools. This is the minimum threshold. The maximum, it's completely up to you. The point is, it's not about the numbers. It's rather about the quality of legal education that you impart in schools. And we would suggest that you take up schools that are not very privileged, are there in the semi-urban areas or in the rural areas where resources or people reaching to those areas is not so easy. Again, the speed mentoring collated video, it need not be the entire 50 minutes you're uploading. You can collate the entire session in 15 to 20 minutes and upload it via the Google Drive that we will provide by November 10th. The final report and the legal aid assistance report. This will be one and the same. The legal aid assistance report will be a part of the final report. So you do not have to give 2 submissions to us. In the final report itself, the legal aid assistance report will have a major section as to what are the kinds of assistance you have provided, how many beneficiaries have actually benefited from it, what are the kinds of solutions that you gave to the people. After all of this is done, the marks will be calculated and we will shortlist teams based on the parameter that is given here. So out of the 60 teams, top 15 teams will be shortlisted completely based on the marks that are mentioned in serial number 1 to 6. So completely based on this, we will shortlist the top 15 teams only based on marks. And then the shortlisted 15 teams will have a jury interaction with the patrons of the competition that you just had the privilege of hearing. Once the jury interaction takes place, it will be marked, and finally the winners will be declared in the various sectors and the various heads that are there of the prizes. Now, if you have any questions, please raise up your hands. You can put the question in the chat box as well. Yes, you have a question. I'm unmuting you. Please feel free to ask. If there are no questions, Gautam, I have unmuted you. Please.
Jay, there is a question in the chat box from Tan Gaba who's asking, what is exactly jury interaction?
Okay. The jury interaction is basically wherein the jury will be asking you questions on the 6 different elements that you have completed as to what was your approach in a legal podcast, why did you choose the particular topic, in speed mentoring, what is it that you did, how many schools did you attend to or cater to, what are the kinds of topics that you discussed, did you follow up with them, how effective was the street play or the Jansunwai, the reel making, what was the reach of the reel making, has it really made an impact? The Legal Aid Assistance Lab, again, what was the real impact of the Legal Aid Assistance Lab? Because we have clarified it before, this is not a legal internship. It's more about you taking the lead as a budding lawyer and helping actual lawyers in ground to assist the people who actually need legal literacy and legal aid. And finally, questions on the final report.
Can I add to that, Jay?
Yes, please.
So the jury interaction will be for shortlisted teams. That's the first thing. So we will have a few top teams, and the jury would be permitted to interact with a few top teams. Of course, every competition, there are two parts. One is submissions. Sometimes the submissions have to be authenticated, verified. The jury may be interested to know who has led the team, whether it's the faculty or the student leader. See, sometimes our previous experience has been some teams do very well on paper, but during the jury interaction, they're not able to actually justify because the work would have been done by someone else. So the reason why we have a jury interaction is to actually come up with the most authenticated winners of this competition. And the jury should have some free access to interact with the team so that they can choose their final winners. That's the whole purpose.
Thank you, sir, for the input. There are two questions in the chat box. Do you have to call a guest for the podcast or amounting to student itself? It is completely up to you. You can have the podcast done by your own team, your faculty member, or someone from your administration, or you can call a guest for the podcast itself. The next, is there a specific format for the final report? Yes, we will be sharing an outline of the final report, but it will flow in a very simple manner. You have the cover page, the name of the institution, the team code that we will be providing, and a table of contents. Then as per the 6 components of the competition, you will be telling about as to what was your reach and how many people benefited from it, what was your experience in it, and you can use graphics, pictures, and other methods of editing and formatting your final report. And all of it needs to be done and submitted only in a soft copy. Please note, you do not have to send anything as a hard copy either to SLS Pune or to NLS Bangalore.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Yes, this is Gautam from Symbiosis Law School, Noida. I had
Yes,
one
Gautam.
question regarding the component of speed mentoring. Since it was told that we may cover about 4 to 5 schools and about 3 sessions per school, would it be appreciated if the topics covered in each session are different, or can they also be like the same topic covered in different session in depth? Is that freedom given to us, or it has to be in a specific format?
The freedom is absolutely given to you. You can have this, you can deal with the same topic, because if you're dealing with a class 5 student or standard 5 student, the focus would be on something else. If you're dealing with a standard 10th, 9th, or 8th student, you may want to focus on a different topic, completely based on your assumptions and your assessment of that particular school's children. So that is a leeway that is given to the teams to be as creative as they want.
Precisely, that was our question. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I would suggest, see, India is a very huge nation. The topics of relevance, I think you would better know from your geographical location. We have only made a few suggestive topics. The reason is there is some kind of then alignment for judging how and to what extent the speed mentoring covered the topics and how was it received. But you would probably be better a judge to decide which topic would be suitable in which schools, in which locations.
With regard to the question of your team composition that is there, please note there will be 8 members, 1 student coordinator. So this is your core team member. You can have 1 faculty coordinator, or if you write to us and if there are 2 faculty coordinators, at max you can have 2 faculty coordinators. In all, your entire team should be of 10, and in an exception cases where you have 1 more faculty coordinator, 11. Apart from this, you can have an additional number of students who would be supporting you in the activities, because we understand there are exams, there are festivals that are coming in different parts of India. So we understand that one dedicated team may not be able to cater to all the components that are there. So we suggest you streamline and strategize it in a manner so that all the involvement and all the components are completed in the best possible manner. And we will be providing certificates to only the 10 core members who we will be sending an email to. And just after this session, we will be sending an email. and we'll be taking the names of the 10 core members and the faculty coordinators. Apart from this, whoever student volunteers who will help you in completing these components, the law schools and the teams are free to acknowledge their work. And if you see the rule book, if I take you to the last page of the rule book, there is a component that is given, and you can add the names of the faculty coordinator who have assisted and the students who have assisted you. So we will see this as a part of the final report that you submit to us. Any other questions? Could you please provide a summary of the podcast, speed mentoring, and final report? You can refer to the CEERA DOJ YouTube page that is there. The previous street plays, the previous speed mentoring have all been uploaded in our channel. For reference purposes, you can have a look at them. Can the teams have access to the final reports of winning teams? I'm really sorry, but this we may not be able to provide at this point, because if you see the final report, the sense will be lost. So we will not be providing you with the previous final reports of the previous editions. Can we take different topic for street play and Jan Sunwai? Absolutely. Jan Sunwai is basically addressing and catering to the needs of the public, while street play can be on a topic that you think is best suited and will cater to the area. Reels are supposed to feature people giving legal awareness. You can be as creative in creating those reels. It can be on different areas of legal aid. It can be on different topics, some contemporary issues, sensitization of men, women, children, something that you think is relevant to the public at large. Is it mentioned? It is mentioned that every member of the core committee must participate in every deliverable. So the core team should be engaged in the entire competition, but we do understand, as I said, there are a lot of festivities, exams, unit tests that all of you have. So you can involve the entire team, but then also, as it is given in the last page of the report as well, there will be legal aid volunteers of your law school who will be assisting you in completing this. But please note, all the 6 components are a mandatory requirement for you to qualify, and for you to qualify for the final totaling of marks. Only then, if you, in case you don't complete any component for any reason, your team will be disqualified and you will not be marked. Can we conduct Jan Sunwai anywhere? You can conduct it anywhere. It is completely up to the team's discretion. Yes, we will be holding legal aid conclaves. The dates of the legal aid conclaves are also given in the timeline that is out here. The first legal aid conclave will take place on September 30th, second on October 30th, and the third legal aid conclave will take place on November 8th. This will be done by the organizing committee. Your presence is mandatory. Your attendance will be marked. The faculty coordinators also need to attend this, because this is also one of the components based on which you may be asked questions by the jury. And as the organizing committee, we will also take a note as to who are the teams who are attending this legal aid conclaves. And this entire competition will be virtual. At no point any of the team will be asked to either visit SLS Pune or NLS Bangalore. Can the podcast be in Hindi, Marathi? Absolutely. The podcast can be in your regional language as well. Topics for reels? No, we will not be providing any topics for the reels. It is completely upon you to decide what you think is best. Minimum number of reels and the time duration. Reels can be from 90 seconds to 2 minutes at maximum. 3 minutes, 90 seconds to 3 minutes, because Instagram has a particular algorithm of uploading them. Minimum number of reels are 8. If you want, you can do more as well. If there are any further questions, you can put it in the chat box. The street play can be conducted in regional language or English or Hindi, anything that is best catered to your particular area. Also, please know there has been a significant question as to can you upload the reel as you make it? Please note no. Once you submit the reels to us by October 12th, we will confirm if all the reels are fine, and then you can upload it on your social media handles. Meanwhile, if you want to upload some of your activities that are not reels, but behind the scenes or what kind of activities you are doing, please feel to post it on your social media handles. You can feel free to collaborate with CEERA and SLS's Instagram handles, and there are brownie points for that as well. So you can be as creative as you want in your social media handle, because one of the objectives of this entire competition is a digital reach out, and digital reach out should be in the regional language or in a language that is best suited to your particular area. Reels of online awareness. Yes. Language for reels, as I said, Hindi, English, regional language, anything that is best suited. Dr. Kshitij, if you have anything to add, I think
the questions are, a lot of these questions are getting repeated. So I would sincerely request that the participants please pay attention to what Mr. Jay is saying, so that your queries will get answered in his responses itself. And also sincerely request you to go through this guidebook once again very carefully. Put it through your faculty in charges as well. Ensure that you read every single line very carefully, so that you don't miss out on any particular instruction. Because a lot of these questions are already answered in the clarification sheet itself. Of course, another thing is that we have circulated a Google form earlier for people to ask queries, which are getting responded to very quickly. So the participants are requested to please avail the facility of the Google form as well, so that we could answer your questions within a short span of time. There are more questions coming in, Jay.
Yes. With regards, yes, we will be acknowledging the non-core committee of faculty members who will be a part of this journey of yours. We will definitely acknowledge them. With regards to the graphics, you can please refer to the graphics that Vikas had shared of a Legal Aid to Legal Rights handbook. We will be sharing the same over the WhatsApp group as well. So graphics like some illustrative examples of acid attack as to what it looks like, or what an FIR looks like, what a police station looks like, so that you can do. Also, we have circulated all the clarifications, as Dr. Kshitij said. They have been collated by Ramni. She has done a tremendous task in collating all the responses, and we have circulated it, and we will continue to circulate it. So feel free to use the Google form that is there for clarifications. We assure to give you a response within 12 hours, but if not within 24 hours, it's a promise from our end. Could you please explain about the Legal Aid Assistance Lab? Sairam sir, would you want to add some thoughts on this, the Legal Aid Assistance Lab?
No, I think yeah, let's hope that this is from a student. I'm sure the faculty would assist them understand the assistance lab. Okay, so Jay, can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes, sir.
Let's show them. I don't know whether they have seen our YouTube channel. Okay, so see, this competition is in the 3rd year. Okay, so if you go to the CEERA-NLSIU YouTube channel, you should get most of what is here. Okay, so this will give you a great idea about how teams have been doing or participating in this competition in the previous editions. So rest assured that there is enough information already here which should guide you. Okay, there are reels here. There is a podcast here. I'll just click on this. Yeah, there is one podcast at least for your reference. So what? These are all mostly in English and Hindi because we are looking at a larger outreach. But you are free to enter into any of these on your own. Okay. So I think this is the first inaugural day. I'm sure you are quite anxious to know a lot of things, which is understandable. But please note, your faculty and your dean will be able to guide you adequately so that you can, do all these events in the best possible manner. Okay. Now, just the last point, because do you want to share I think we have shared the legal aid handbook links, isn't it? So that information is also there with them. No, so okay, so legal assistance lab is something that your legal clinics in your institutions can actually take part in. We hope that you will be able to assist someone in exercising their legal right, either through litigation or through non-litigation work. Okay, So this is an actual real-time legal assistance. It's not a moot court. It's not mock assistance. So we would want you to document who have you helped legally in exercising either their legal right or in redressing any kind of grievance that they may have. So what could be a legal assistance lab? Let me just give you one example. Suppose a house help or someone who is a worker, a domestic help, they are facing abuse and you want to give them some kind of legal assistance. How would you do it? Right? We would want you to document who this person is. Of course, you may not want to disclose the name, which is completely understandable, but it should be a real-time case. So you must tell us what was the abuse, how many years did it go, what was the solution. See, in the next 2 or 3 months, the final grievance may not be redressed, but maybe what steps have you suggested, and are you involving yourself in getting redressal to this house help from domestic violence? So this is the precise thing. It's not just counseling. It's not just advising what the legal solutions are, but are you going to help someone seek that kind of legal assistance in the actual practical sense, right? So what have you suggested? That she goes and files a domestic violence complaint? Do you think she should get maintenance? Is there a police FIR that you're suggesting? Anything that you have come up with has to be documented over there. And that is what a legal assistance lab is. So just giving you one scenario or an example relating to that. So most legal aid clinics are involved in this process. So we thought you could document some of these processes and also make it part of the competition in a much more serious way.
Also, some of you are asking where the rules have been shared. It has been mailed to your faculty coordinator. We will be mailing you another Google form to request the details of all the 10 core members. At 5:45, you'll be receiving that email from our side. There is a WhatsApp group link that has been shared over email as well. Please get in touch with the faculty coordinator. They will have received the link, or else once we get your details, you will have to fill the core team member form by the 10th of September. So please fill the 10 member details by the 10th of September, and we will share everything once again. If you're not a part of the group, kindly ask your faculty member to share the link of the group. It's an open group, so anyone with the link can join the group. Dr.
Final
Kshitij.
word, as a final word from my side, I would like to say this, that this competition is a collaboration between the faculty and the student. It's an institutional competition, and it's not just a student-run competition. So that is something that I had to insist upon. So we request all the faculty members to be here present, because please note, the jury would first want to interact with the faculty and then with the student leader and the student. So it's an institutional competition. Of course, students do much of the work, but the faculty is a core member of this competition.
Dr. Kshitij and Vikas, if you want to add anything, please.
No, just that the link of this recording will also be probably shared up on a public platform, maybe the website. So the others who are repeatedly asking similar questions can refer to this recording to get it clarified. And as Sairam sir rightly pointed out, a lot of these questions that are coming from curious students who are obviously understandably excited about the same. But if the faculty members go through the brochure, go through the rules, guidelines very carefully, I think they themselves can clarify a majority of these doubts for their students. So that would really be very helpful. And I think the channel that Sairam sir just showed actually has almost everything ready for reference. So thank you very much for that, sir. So yes, Jay.
Vikas, would you want to add anything, any message for the teams? Okay, so with this, I think we can come to an end. I want to thank everyone once again, all the 60 teams, the faculty coordinators, wishing you all a happy Teachers' Day once again. Sairam sir, especially our intern who has joined us a week back, Chiranjeet from Faculty of Law, DU, Vikas, Dr. Kshitij, Ramni, and everyone else. So I wish you all the best for the competition. Please start working on the different components, strategize it well, and strategize it component wise. Only then you'll be able to get the best results out of it. So these are the last words from our end. All the best and see you once again. Yes, sir, please.
Just as a matter of encouragement for the students, the certificate will have the DOJ banner as well. So yeah, NLS DOJ. Is it worth fighting for it? Let's have some competitive spirits with us, friends. Let's take this competition very seriously, not only from a constitutional mandate, but also from a mandate of winning this competition and the prize money, which is finally there, which is not very significant though. But yes, the spirit of competition should always be there. So let me thank everyone in Simbi, right from Madam Shashikala Gurpur, Dr. Shitej, Dr. Shirish, Samrajit sir, all the members of the legal aid clinic at Simbi. I think without you, I don't think we would have come to this stage. I think you guys have been very terrific with your work, your involvement. We were able to turn around things so quickly that we could launch this competition today. So Simbi team, it's a great hats off to you. Thank you. I think this has been a true collaboration, true partnership. And I think we hope we can do much more, like ma'am said, magic as we go forward. So thank you, Simbi team. And thanks to the CEERA team as well. Thanks, everyone. Good day. Bye-bye.